the grid. Our kin were waiting in the shade. We knew they watched, they always did, just waiting for the wall to fade. Your being's lost in unseen lands, but still we fought behind those walls. With faith in more than region bands, we miss your voices in our call. But now you are free, we are welcoming you. Join our killing spree, you are coming straight through. And when our guns are running short, and when our courage starts to fade, your boots arrive without retort. Your thousand starts to join the raid.
Evening's freedoms, bot divers of the AEMZ, or AEMZ. That being the Automaton excessively militarized zone. Tonight's special was Region Free by Deadnet Order, a funky, ska-like tune celebrating the freedom our siblings in arms all over the globe may now enjoy. Joining us on the front lines to get, as a certain serial killer on the main HG2 Discord puts it, catastrophically redistributed. That being cereal like Munch Munch, by the way. Even so, freedom and liberty are themes that I would like to discuss and focus on tonight, but I will get into that in just a little bit. For now, news from the galactic sphere. The fight on Istotu looks like it's just about to wrap up with yet another Super Earth super victory, denying the bots all of their designated war goals, and wrapping this major order up nicely with a little bow on it 2.5 days ahead of schedule. That's 4 for 4 defenses, everybody. Everything after this is just extra credit. Unfortunately, the bots on Mintoria look like they got a head start and have dug in nicely. You're gonna have to use some extra special force to get them out of there. Might I suggest the 500-kilogram bomb for the esteemed gentleman with a 380mm garnish coupled with fava beans and a nice Chianti? On that note, the Merc Divers have pulled back the curtain on a new bounty, Operation Scrapyard, which I could swear that they've used before, but by now we have had so darn many operations, counteroffensives, insurgencies, ambushes, and full-blown wars, civil or otherwise, that it's actually getting a little difficult to come up with snazzy new names for them all, so I suppose it's fine. This is another bounty focusing on the spilling of oil, where you will be paid 1 super credit per kill, 200 super credits per factory strider that you teach to roll over and play dead, and 100 additional super credits per outpost destroyed, because you know the mercs love that property damage. So, if you're gonna redeploy to the Western Front this week and style on some speaking spells, you might as well be paid through the nose for the effort. Considering I just paid out for the co-ownership in Gunvold, I am looking to rebuild that pocketbook for the next time that I can simply buy up a mega corporation on the cheap in my quest for galactic domination. Instead of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen. Not dark, but beautiful and terrible as the dawn, tempestuous as the sea, and stronger than the foundations of the earth. All shall love me and Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong script. Well, alright. That's the dish for the evening, and there's only one final thing on my to-do list before I start catching up on some of these plot lines that others were bringing me while I was busy with the Alliance Order. Now, unlike this morning where I went off on a very opinionated tangent, I'm gonna stick you all with a warning this time. After this, I'm gonna start delving into IRL politics, so if you want to keep your immersion only in Helldivers, this is your stop. I don't have anything else for you tonight, so if you want to go and see what happens when you stick a grenade of a bot's primary exhaust port, more power to you. So, that many of you stuck around, huh? Alright, well, let's get this train rolling. With another year's Pride behind us, I do have some things that I would like to say to round up the month. First, I think this is actually one of the best Prides that I have ever had because I had a community gathered around me to enjoy it with. People who claim that because of the positive representation that I bring, they feel better about themselves. That because there is someone like me out here, they feel more accepted, like they belong. It's actually kind of strange in a way. If you took a Venn diagram of Helldivers, trans communities, and for some gloriously strange reason, furries, you would pretty much end up with a circle. On the other side of the spectrum, I have had more than a few people respond to my Pride art post, even in low sodium, negatively, who say that I shouldn't make it my whole personality, that I am forcing politics into Helldivers, and my personal favorite here, the people like me just infect every single space on the internet. Like I am some sort of virus or disease that needs to be removed. Even though the LSHD mods were working overtime that day and did a great job of watching my back, taking down hateful comments like a Gatling sentry hooked up to a truck battery, I think that the view that I am some sort of disease says far more about the commenter than the one post that I made on the subject. But the purpose of my little side rant here isn't to cry the victim, or say how much mean people suck. I mean, they do, but that's not the point. In fact, I have a guest on the show tonight, and I would like to take the chance to let her speak first. Lady Electo, you have the floor.
Hey everyone. So, dropping the act today because alongside the darling radio angel I'm proud to call a friend, I'd like to add my own thoughts on the end of Pride Month here. Why's that? Let me just come out and say it. Hi, you can call me Electo, and I am a trans woman. 3.5 years now on HRT, and utterly, shamelessly, unapologetic about that fact. And boy, howdy, let me tell you, there were signs when I was younger. Raise your hand if you ever said, yeah, I like playing girl characters in games because they have cute butts. Or, FemShep because she's just a badass. Stuff like that. Heck, my sheltered behind didn't even realize being trans could be a thing. Until I was far older than I'd prefer. And no, do not ask a lady her age. It's rude. Regardless, the day it finally clicked, the day the egg cracked, the day I realized who I am, knowing what I know now, wouldn't trade it for anything. And I know what some of you want to ask, want to think. Even with the world trying to make me illegal, even with countless monkey fluffers trying to take this from not just me, but all my brothers, sisters, everyone in between, Pandion included. Even with all the fear, the hate, the gesturing, the whole world out there right now, yeah, I'll keep saying it, and I'll keep living it. No one gets to take that from me. And to all those still finding themselves, questioning things, seeking help, I'm gonna say this too. You are valid. You belong. You are not alone in this fight. So no matter how dark the night looks, no matter how low the ammo count is, keep going. Don't give up. We will get through this. And to the haters out there, I'm not your fetish. I'm not your punchline. I'm not your freak. And the only thing I want from trans kids is a chance for them to grow up to be trans adults. To make for them a better world. One that doesn't have the pain I'm still going through on this beautiful, ugly, messy journey as I fluff, I'm starting to cry now. But yeah, one without fear. One with a new status quo. One where, as others have said, our existence isn't political, not a scare tactic for votes on one side or given lip service for the same on the other. No human is illegal. Trans rights are human rights. And for some of us, Pride doesn't end with June. It's every day, and good luck getting rid of us. Because we've been here all along, and we always will be too. Lady Electo signing off.
Could not have phrased it better myself, sister. Several weeks ago, I saw a video that I have linked in the description below from Wonder Aria called Who Cares If It Is Our Entire Personality, where they break down one of the arguments used against people like me, specifically those who say, I'm alright with trans people so long as they don't make it their entire personality. First, outside of maybe cartoon characters, what entity makes a singular issue their entire personality? Despite what others may think, I don't even make Helldivers my entire personality. I actually do play other games. Quite a lot, in fact. Like Tropico, Anno 2205, or V-Rising, even World of Warcraft, The Scandal. Second, this argument hides its true intent, like a dagger in a cloak. Those who say that I make it my entire personality are trying to force me to not be myself. Even if I gave in, stopped using my voice changer, and was more in line with what they thought is normal, they would still say that I am doing it too much, fighting too hard for my right to live comfortably. As me. As Pandera. Hilarious. Survival viewed as a flaw. But that brings me to the conclusion of, they just don't want to see trans or queer people at all. Freedom in their eyes means that we can do whatever we want, so long as they don't have to see, hear, understand it on any level, or deal with it, even microscopically. They should just be honest. They would rather people like me not exist. Same thing with those who say that being trans is political because politicians are making my people a political issue. Is that not just victim blaming? By this logic, being Jewish during the 1940s was a political thing because Germany sure as fluff was making it political. The point of my ending rant here is to elucidate why I fight, why I speak as I do, and feel like I feel. Growing up, I felt these urges inside of me that I couldn't understand because there was no representation of it. And even if it was depicted, it was done in a negative light. Depicted as freaks, deviants, perverts. I lived for years in abject misery, not even realizing that this was an option for myself. And if I had someone in my life who knew what I was going through, who could tell me that this was normal, there were options, and a whole community support network out there, my life might have turned out differently. I know that the road to social acceptance is a long one. I know that the powers that be are rallying against me with their legions, their mechanisms, their minions, their systems of surveillance designed to enforce my conformity. Please, I'm a Helldiver. Waging long campaigns against impossible odds only to win anyway? That's just Tuesday to me. I fight not because I've been hurt, but because I might spare others the pain that I went through. To be that person that says what you feel is normal, natural, and to show them the path forward. A trail that I have already blazed. To help trans kids grow up into trans adults instead of, oh so commonly, just another statistic. Because to some, the words, leave kids alone, means to ignore their inner pain and struggles and force their silence and conformity until they end up taking their own final walk after the shed. That statistic is about 39% of the trans and non-binary American population who seriously considered that dark end last year alone, by the way, with a 12% attempt rate. According to the Trevor Project, that is a 72% increased risk of ending one's life at their own hands. Yet, the ecclesiarchy continues to push the narrative that we are the problem. 897,000 thinking of ending their lives, and 276,000 more actively trying to do it because they no longer believe in life's beauty and wonder. And that is a vastly conservative estimate because of how many of my people don't feel comfortable coming forward in being themselves. They know what it means for them to be seen. We are dying out there. And when it does happen, it's only further used as evidence of the trans problem by right-wing politician demons like some kind of sick joke. Right-wing politicians like the rulers of Hungary who just attempted a in-person march in opposition to his ruling as something that is being orchestrated by his rivals with paid protesters. What levels of delusion our opposition must sink to? About a week ago, I had to banish a commenter of mine to the Shadow Realm because he asked what was with my mental illness flag, that being my portrait on YouTube. As you can see, dear listeners, there is mental illness present here, but it is not helped by me. We are not paid to say, no, you don't control us. We're not your subjects. We will live free whether you decree it as acceptable or not. I will gladly do it for free. Governments are there to serve the people, not the other way around. If you do not represent the people, government has no point. Make no mistake, dear listeners, this is what they want for all of us. They're just being more honest now. They would rather people like me not exist. We're not asking you for permission to exist. We're telling you that we do. Being trans isn't political. Trans rights are human rights. It's not wrong, immoral, indecent, or perverse to want to be happy in your own skin. To want to be happy in general. I feel like a lot of people are closer to true happiness than they realize, but they're scared to reach out for it because, as we discussed before, mean people suck. And there are quite a few of them out there. That is what I believe. That is why I wear this cape. Why I will continue to wear it long after Pride is done, and likely well into the next one. Why I am going to keep my emblem and my portraits just the way they are, because I'm trans every day. Not just for 30 days in June. I have lived in shame long enough. I think now we should all live in pride. Freedom, liberty, and democracy are more than just words and a flag. Liberation is more than just some buzzword a nitwit would-be dictator uses to occupy a city that dared to oppose his cruelty in blatant violation of Posse Comitatus. These are things that I believe in that some are trying to make into a joke. And I feel it is well past time that we took those meanings back. It's not a satire. It's not a joke. Some things are just worth fighting for.